Gym leaders are meant to gauge a trainer's strength, and there's always been this implication that they hold back. When you face them in the postgame or in rematches, their Pokemon are much higher level that they rival the Elite Four or even the champion. In some cases, a gym leader is more likely to become the champion than an Elite Four member. So that got me thinking, what would each gym leader's team look like if they were champion? Now, this video is going to be longer than usual, so I'm only going to focus on the Kanto gym leaders for now. But if you want to see me do more videos like this, then let me know. And just to keep things consistent, I'm going to lay down some ground rules. Rule number 1, this is based on Fire Red and Leaf Green. Now, I know these games are old, but this is my preferred version of playing Kanto, so yeah. Rule number 2, I can only use the original 151 Pokemon, since those are the only ones you can catch in your playthrough. Yes, I know some of these Pokemon got evolutions in later gens, but they're not a part of the original 151, so they're going to be off the table for the gym leaders' teams. They don't use them anyway in Fire Red and Leaf Green, so I think it's only fair. Rule number 3, their teams will be scaled to match the champion's team. Your rival, aka the champion, has 3 Pokemon which are level 59, 1 level 57, 1 level 61, and the ace being level 63, and it's holding a citrus berry. So the gym leaders' teams will follow the same formula. Rule number 4, I'm allowing TMs, move tutors, and egg moves. Normally, gym leaders only use the TM they give out, but let's be real, most of the gym leaders teams wouldn't be that good if their Pokemon could only use moves they learned through level up. And rule number 5, the gym leaders won't have Pokemon which overlap with one another. Every Pokemon they use is unique to their team, and I like that, so I want to carry that over for this video. But there's only so many evolutionary lines for each type, so some gym leaders are just gonna have to have a duplicate Pokemon. If you like this video, then please consider like, sharing, and subscribing. Anyways, let's hop right into it. Let's first take a look at what Brock's champion team would look like. His lead Pokemon is going to be Golem, with the ability Rock Head. I'm giving it Rock Blast and Magnitude because I like the concept of it having moves which can be the weakest of their type or the strongest. Rock Blast hits anywhere between 2 to 5 times, and Magnitude generates a number between 4 and 10. The higher the number, the stronger the attack. Since Golem has the ability Rock Head, then it would be a waste to not give it Double Edge. With 120 power coming off its base 120 attack, that's going to hit pretty hard, and it's not going to have to worry about taking recoil damage. The final move I'm giving it is Explosion, so it can nuke whatever on the field and catch you off guard. His second Pokemon is Onix. Onix is his ace in Pewter City, but Onix doesn't have what it takes to be a champion's ace. Its base stat total is less than 400, and all of its stats aside from its defense are pitiful. But don't worry, this is the only ace Pokemon who's had their ace title revoked. I'll give Onix Sturdy if you want to use a one-hit KO move for some reason on it. As for its moves, it's going to have Rock Slide and Earthquake for stab, as well as Bind for chip damage at the end of each turn. But its most notable move is going to be Sandstorm. This will set the sand and boost the special defense of all rock types by 50%. That is something Brock's team would love. Sandstorm reduces 1/16 of a Pokemon's max HP at the end of each turn if a Pokemon is not Rock, Steel, or Ground type, which really isn't that much, but hey, it's something. I know it's cheesy to try to make something better by giving it some type of weather mechanic, but Fire Red and Leaf Green are a part of Generation 3, the generation which debuted weather, so I think it's fair for them to show off this new mechanic, and don't be surprised when you see other gym leaders utilizing weather. As for his third Pokemon, he's gonna have Kabutops, and its ability is Swift Swim. It can make some use of Surf, and also I'm going to give it Rock Slide and Slash, which has a high chance to crit. I had a little difficulty on the fourth move, but I decided on giving it Confuse Ray. Confusion has a 50% chance to make a target hit themselves in Confusion, and Confuser has 100 accuracy. If you played Pokemon back before Confusion was nerfed, then you know how annoying Confusion is. This move alone would make Kabutops one of Brock's most annoying Pokemon. Brock's fourth Pokemon is going to be Omastar with Swift Swim. This is his only special attacker, which he desperately needs. It's got base 115 special attack, so I want to give it Hydro Pump to maximize how much damage this thing can output. It can also learn Ancient Power, where it has a 10% chance to boost all of its stats by one stage. As for coverage, Omastar will have Bite and Ice Beam. Brock's fifth Pokemon will be a second Golem that also has Rock Head, but this one's moveset is going to be more consistent. Rock Slide and Earthquake will deal some nice damage, and just like the first Golem, it's also going to have Double Edge. However, this Golem has Sandstorm. I know I already gave Onix Sandstorm, but if you're going to use a weather-based team, then you're going to need more than one weather setter. And for his ace, it's going to be none other than Aerodactyl. And just like his other Pokemon, it's going to have Rock Head for the ability. Aerodactyl is his only Pokemon that is actually fast and doesn't have a 4x weakness, so this definitely suits well for Brock's ace. It's the best user of Rock Slide because it's going to outspeed most of your team and potentially make you flinch. Aerial Ace will never miss, Double Edge is quite powerful, and you don't have to worry about recoil damage, and its final move will be Earthquake. Brock's champion team is pretty exploitable because 5 of them have at least a 1-4 times weakness. But that's where Sand comes in. If he can manage to get that up, then they're going to get a boost to their special defense. Rock types already have a great defense and attack, so if you don't have a water or grass type to this battle, Brock might give you a run for your money. Next up is Misty. Misty is going to lead with Golduck. For its ability, it's going to have Damp with the moves Hydro Pump and Psychic to put out some consistent damage. Golduck is also able to learn Hypnosis, so despite having 60 accuracy, it's still useful to try to put you to sleep. And for the final move, I'm going to slap on Future Sight. Future Sight in this game is a Psychic type, but it's more accurate to say that it's a typeless move because it doesn't hit anything for super effective damage, nor does anything resist or is immune to it. The attack doesn't go through until 2 turns after the move was used, so I think it adds a fun yet quirky mechanic to the game. Her second Pokemon is Seaking with the ability Swift Swim. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Seaking is on the lower end of useful water-type Pokemon in this game. It's a physical attacker, so it's not the best stab water-type user, and it doesn't really learn that many good physical attacks. I'll give it Surf anyway just for stab, Horn Attack for its physical attack, Rain Dance to set the rain, which will double its speed thanks to its ability, and boost the power of water-type moves by 50%. And for a really strong physical attack, it's gonna get Mega Horn. Her third Pokemon will be Vaporeon with Water Absorb. Vaporeon is a rather bulky water type with base 130 HP, 95 special defense, and 110 special attack. Base 60 defense is nothing to brag about, so Acid Armor is going to raise its defense by 2 stages, thus increasing its overall bulk. Vaporeon will also have Surf, but I also want to give it Ice Beam and Wish. Surf and Ice Beam cover pretty much every type except water, but water types won't have an easy time against Vaporeon since it's immune to water type attacks. This next one might come as a surprise, but for her fourth Pokemon, I'm giving her Blastoise with Torrent, of course. It might sound odd if she gets a starter, but we've seen plenty of characters with starter Pokemon, so I'm sure a gym leader can get their hands on one. Blastoise's attack and special attack barely crack 80, so it's gonna need Hydro Pump to hit hard. Yawn will force you to either stay in and fall asleep or switch out. Skull Bash will raise its defense the first turn and attack the second turn. If it uses Yawn then Skull Bash, it could be an interesting combo. And for the last move, Bite would be a safe option to deal with Psychic types. As for her fifth Pokemon, I want to give her another strong physical attacking water type, and that's going to be Gyarados with Intimidate. Gyarados has insanely high attack, but underwhelming special attack, so it's also going to get Hydro Pump to compensate for that. And I'll also give it Rain Dance, but that's not the only type of dance Gyarados can perform. I'm also going to give it Dragon Dance to boost its speed and attack, and just to shake things up, let's go ahead and give it Earthquake. And of course, her ace is none other than Starmie with Natural Cure. Starmie is an incredible Pokemon as it's got respectable speed and special attack. It's got a really great moveset, so her ace can practically hit any Pokemon for neutral damage at the very least. Therefore, let's give it Hydro Pump and Psychic for stab, then a throw on Thunderbolt. I wanted to give it Ice Beam, but Starmie can learn Recover, so Misty wouldn't necessarily need to use a full restore. It already learns Recover anyway when you face her in her gym, so I'm just gonna keep it on here. They're all excellent special attacks, and it's got access to Recover means Starmie is going to be pretty terrifying. Misty's champion team is a mixed bag of physical and special attackers. She's got a few ways to put you to sleep, and Rain means her Pokemon's water type attacks are going to become twice as strong once you factor in Stab. Now let's move on to Lieutenant Surge. For Lieutenant Surge, he is going to lead with an Electrode which has Soundproof as the ability. Electrode is really fast, and that's the only thing it really has going for it. But at least Soundproof will make it immune to all sound-based moves. As for its moveset, it'll have Thunderbolt, Screech to lower your defense by 2 stages, Rollout which starts off weak but increases in power after every turn, and finally, Explosion. Sure, its base 50 attack is pretty sad, but I think it's actually really scary once it uses Screech, then Rollout or Explosion. It's enough to deal significant damage or even KO a Pokemon. His second Pokemon will be Magneton with Magnapole. This ability will only work on the Magneton line since they're the only steel types, but hey, it's better than pre-buff Sturdy. Magneton is the only steel type you encounter in this game, so it can be quite difficult to knock out if you don't have a super effective attack, so I think it's fair to make it the lowest level Pokemon on his team. Thunderbolt is gonna hurt coming off its base 120 special attack, but the only special attacks it learns are electric type. So I guess I'll give it Tri-Attack for coverage. This means Magneton has a chance to either burn, paralyze, or freeze your Pokemon. Let's take a page from Watson's playbook, and just like his Magneton, Lieutenant Surge's will have Supersonic and Thunder Wave. For his third Pokemon, I'm giving him a second Electrode. Again, I don't want to give them duplicates, but there's only 5 electric type lines in this game. Technically 6, but Zapdos is a legendary, and I think that'd be wild to give him a legendary. So this Electrode is going to have the ability Static in order to punish physical attackers. Instead of Thunderbolt, it'll have Thunder. I'll also give it Swift for just another attack, but Rain Dance means Thunder will never miss once it drizzles. Finally, Light Screen will reduce the damage received from special attacks. That way, it can actually survive a special attack, punish physical attackers, and support its team. Lieutenant Surge's 4th Pokemon will be Electabuzz with Static. Now, Electabuzz has a base 105 speed, 95 special attack, and 83 attack, so I think it'll make a really good mixed attacker. It learns all of the elemental punches, but I don't see why it should have Thunder Punch when it can learn Thunderbolt and Thunder, which are significantly stronger than Thunder Punch. I'll give it Thunder as well as Fire Punch and Ice Punch, as these elemental moves will provide excellent coverage. And its last move will be Cross Chop, which has a respectable 100 power and a high chance to crit. His 5th Pokemon is Jolteon with Volt Absorb. Jolteon is incredibly fast as well, but like most electric types in this game, it doesn't have that many special attacks outside of its own type. So I'll give it Thunder for a hard-hitting move and Bite. Because Jolteon is so fast, it can take advantage of making you flinch, which pairs well with Thunder, which has a 30% chance to paralyze. I'll throw in Double Kick just for some coverage, and the last move will be Sand Attack. I know it seems insane that a champion would use this move when you typically find it on low-level Pokemon, but think about it. Sand Attack will lower your accuracy, so I can imagine Jolteon being incredibly annoying if it uses Sand Attack paired with Thunder and Bite. Now for his ace, Lieutenant Surge will have Raichu with Static. Raichu is fast and has base 90 attack and special attack, so it's also a decent mixed attacker. Just like almost every other type though, it only has electric type special attacks, so I guess I'll give it Thunderbolt and Thunder. As for the other 2 moves, I'll give it Iron Tail, and I was going to give it Brick Break, but it can also learn Reversal. The lower the user's the HP is, the more powerful this attack becomes. Raichu is pretty frail, so it's very easy for it to fall into that low health range. Between 10.1 and 20%, it'll have 100 power, 4.1 to 10%, it'll have 150 power, and anything lower than that, it'll have 200 power. Because he has some of the fastest Pokemon in the game on his team, he's almost always going to move first. And he has a very easy way to paralyze you with Thunder, since it's going to hit incredibly hard and has that 30% chance to cause paralysis. So now let's check out what Erika's champion team would look like. Erika is going to lead with Parasect, and let's be honest, Parasect really isn't that good. It's slow, frail, and it doesn't hit hard. But what it does have is the ability Effect Spore, which may paralyze, poison, or put the target to sleep if the target hits Parasect with a contact move. But more importantly, Parasect has access to Spore, the only move with 100 accuracy and the guaranteed effect to put a Pokemon to sleep. Spore will be its best move, but for attacking moves, let's give it Slash for that chance to crit, Dig to hit Rock and Steel types, and Giga Drain for stab. Unfortunately, Erika is going to have another mediocre grass type, and that's Tangela with Chlorophyll. Now, some of Tangela's stats aren't too bad because it has some pretty good special attack and defense, but outside of that, there's not much I'd say Tangela can do. Tangela isn't that great of an attacker, so I'd like for it to fill more of a support role. It's going to have Sunny Day to set the sun for its team, because more than half of Erika's team has Chlorophyll, which will double their speed in the sun. I'm going to slap on Confusion, which isn't really that powerful but has that chance to confuse the target, as well as Leech Seed, which will deal chip damage at the end of each turn, as well as heal Tangela or whatever ally is on the field in the process. For its last move, I'm going to give it Giga Drain as another means to heal itself. Now, her 3rd Pokemon is Victory Bell. Victory Bell is another Sun Abuser, and with base 105 attack and 100 special attack, it's terrifying if it comes out while there is harsh sunlight. Swords Dance will give it a +2 to its attack, meaning Stab Sludge Bomb is going to hit like a truck. There aren't that many other physical moves which it benefits from, but it learns Body Slam, which has 85 power and 100 accuracy, and a chance to paralyze, so it's going to have that. And for the last move, I'm giving it Razor Leaf. It's slightly weaker than Giga Drain and has 95 accuracy, but it has far more PP and a high chance to crit. Victory Bell is very scary when you take into account it can double its speed, raise its attack, has 2 attacks which can inflict status, and a 3rd attack which has a high chance to crit. As for her 4th Pokemon, she too is getting a starter, and it's going to be Venusaur with Overgrow. Venusaur is built more on the special side than the physical side, and it has some pretty good bulk, so Giga Drain gives it a means to recover. But its physical attack is still usable, so Sludge Bomb will be for stab, and it's got Earthquake to deal with fire types. Finally, I'll give Venusaur Sleep Powder. Sure, it's no Spore, but with 75 accuracy, it has a 3 in 4 chance to connect. Erika's 5th Pokemon is Exeggutor, and of course, it has the ability Chlorophyll. It will serve as her 2nd Pokemon with Sunny Day, and because its special attack is so high, sitting at a base 125, I want to give it Solar Beam to output a lot of damage. Since it's a Psychic type, it's going to get Psychic as well. And I thought about giving it Hypnosis, but Erika already has 2 Pokemon with better sleep status moves, so I don't want to keep stacking them onto each other. Therefore, I'll give it Reflect to help it and its team resist physical attacks. Erika's ace is going to be none other than her Vileplume, and of course you've guessed it, it's going to have Chlorophyll. Vileplume's bulk isn't half bad either, so it can take attacks, and it surprisingly has a base 110 special attack. I'm giving it Razor Leaf over Giga Drain due to its limited PP, which I don't think works well with this set for Vileplume. Sludge Bomb is on here for stab, Moonlight to heal half of its HP, but will heal 3/4 of its HP during sunlight, and the final move will be Stun Spore. Like I said previously, so many of our Pokemon can put you to sleep, so Stun Spore is a nice change of pace. Erika's champion team is all about setting the sun for her Chlorophyll users to abuse. Her non-Chlorophyll Pokemon are just as frightening because they can easily paralyze or put you to sleep. Overall, it's just so easy for her to status your Pokemon. Now, let's check out what Koga's champion team would look like. Koga's lead is going to be Venomoth, and it has the ability Shield Dust. Venomoth surprisingly has a pretty diverse moveset, so for stab, let's give it Silver Wind, which has a 10% chance to raise all of its stats by 1 stage, and Sludge Bomb. Its special attack is higher than its physical attack, so I think it deserves some special attacks as well. Venomoth learns Psychic through level up, so undoubtedly it's going to get that, and I'm also going to slap on Giga Drain just so that it can recover its own health. For his 2nd Pokemon, he's going to have Golbat with Inner Focus. I really wanted to give him Crobat, but I can't per the rules. We all know how frustrating Zubat can be. It can hit you with Confuse Ray, and then if you get hit with Confusion, it can chip away at your health. So for Koga's Golbat, I want to do something devious and crank it up to 10. It's going to have a Wing Attack, Confuse Ray, Toxic, and Poison Fang for its moveset. Its attacking moves aren't that powerful, but it's enough to cause reliable damage. But the real nuisance will be its status moves. Confuse Ray, which is going to hurt you and cause you to skip a turn, and Toxic, which is going to put you on a timer. And for his 3rd Pokemon, Koga is going to have Arbok. Arbok has Intimidate, so being able to lower your attack is always useful. Arbok is one of his strongest physical attackers, so I want to give it an offensive moveset. Sludge Bomb, Earthquake, and Iron Tail are all excellent physical attacks, and for the 4th move, I'm giving it Glare. Now, Koga is all about using Toxic, which I'm on board with, but I don't want too many of his Pokemon to have Toxic, so therefore Glare it is. It just adds diversity to the status moves he can inflict. Koga's 4th Pokemon is Muck with Stench, and it has an even higher attack than Arbok, so it's going to have Sludge Bomb, which will hit even harder, and Shadow Punch to check Psychic types. I'll also throw in a Brick Break just in case there's any Steel types. His Muck knows Minimize, and I actually want to keep that on here just to make it more annoying. Then, for his 5th Pokemon, it's none other than Tentacruel. Tentacruel is a special defensive wall, and with the ability Clear Body, its stats can't be lowered. As for the moves, it's going to have Surf, Toxic, Wrap, which will trap you in battle and deal passive damage, and Barrier to boost its defense. As for his ace, he's going to have Weezing with the ability Levitate, and I'm only going to make a few tweaks to its original moveset. Weezing is built for bulk and not necessarily outright attacking, so I'm going to keep Smokescreen and Toxic on it. It has Sludge, but if he's the champion, he can just have Sludge Bomb instead, which is the stronger variant. And for the final move, Weezing gets walled hard by Steel types, so throw in Flamethrower as a countermeasure. This Weezing is more or less the same, but with a stronger variant of its previous move and Flamethrower for coverage. Koga's champion team has surprisingly good bulky Pokemon like Muck, Tentacruel, Weezing, and even Arbok because of Intimidate. All of his Pokemon are capable of poisoning you, and that chip damage will quickly add up. And what's just as brutal is once he poisons you, 2/3 of his team is capable of stalling you out. If Koga is here to stall you out, then what is Sabrina's approach if she was champion? For Sabrina's 1st Pokemon, it's going to be Alakazam, and its ability is Inner Focus. I'm sure you can figure out already that Alakazam is already her ace Pokemon, and since this is her lead Pokemon, then she's going to have 2 on her team. Now to be fair, I could have given her Starmie or Exeggutor, but Starmie is Misty's ace, and I think Erika needs Exeggutor more than Sabrina, so that's how we ended up here. I'm giving this Alakazam Thunder Punch and Ice Punch. I'm sure you're aware of how good it is to have access to both of these types, but if you're not, it pretty much means there are few Pokemon which resist both types. Psybeam is on here for stab, and I could have given it Psychic, but I'm gonna hold off on that for now. and Psybeam isn't that bad either since it has a chance to confuse the target. And for the final move, we've got Recover. Alakazam has a base 120 speed and a base 135 special attack. It's not bulky, but if it hits you first, it's gonna hit hard. Her second Pokemon is Hypno with Insomnia. It's gonna have a sleep-based move, and that's gonna be Hypnosis. Then Nightmare to slowly drain your HP while you're sleeping. Normally, I wouldn't say Nightmare is a good move to add, but it's a fun gimmick for Sabrina to use. And Hypno is the Hypnosis Pokemon, so I think it's deserving of this move. Psychic is obviously going to be its greatest damaging move, but I threw on Headbutt as a flinch option against slower Pokemon. Plus, Psychic types tend to have horrible physical attack, but Hypno's special attack and physical attack are the same, so I might as well try to make some use of its attack. Sabrina's third Pokemon is Mr. Mime with Soundproof. I gave it Baton Pass and Barrier because Mr. Mime and every other Psychic type doesn't have the best defense. Barrier will raise its defense by 2 stages, and then it can use Baton Pass to switch out and pass on its stats to the next Pokemon. But it doesn't end there. Calm Mind will raise its special attack and special defense by 1 stage. Psychic will be its only attacking move, but with Stab plus Calm Mind, it's pretty terrifying. Mr. Mime is nearly the same as it is in the game, but it now has Psychic instead of Psybeam. It's pretty threatening that it can set up and pass on its stats, so that's why I kept it as is. Next is her Jinx with the ability Oblivious. It starts off with the Lovely Kiss, which has a 75% chance to put you to sleep. That's already enough to force a switch or stay in where you more than likely won't wake up. Then it follows up with the Psychic and Ice Beam for dual stab. I gave it Light Screen too, just to make her team that much more resistant to special attacks. Fifth is Slowbro. I'm giving it own tempo, and this thing is a wall. It's got great HP and defenses, it has more defense than special defense, so I gave it Amnesia to raise its special defense by 2 stages. Psychic and Surf are their damaging options, and I'm also giving it Slack Off for recovery. Because Slowbro is so bulky and has base 100 special attack, this thing will deal significant damage, absorb attacks, and heal itself continuously. And finally, her ace is her second Alakazam with the ability Synchronize. This one will be more of a traditional setup sweeper. Calm Mind lets it boost its already absurd special attack and special defense, and then it has Psychic for stab, and I decided to give it Fire Punch for steel types. Well, I guess just the Magneton line, but you get what I mean. And also Future Sight, which does take 2 turns, but it's fairly consistent considering everything will get hit for neutral damage. Sabrina's champion team may be lacking on the physical side, but her Pokemon have enough special attack to compensate for that, and things can go south very quickly if she manages to set up. Now we move on to Blaine if he were the champion. He's going to lead with Ninetales, which has the ability Flash Fire, giving it an immunity to Fire-type attacks and boost the power of its own Fire-type attacks. Ninetales has Will-O-Wisp to burn your physical attackers right out the gate. It's built more on the special side, so burning physical attackers means it's able to compensate for its lower defense. And it's also going to have Confuse Ray just to add to the annoyance. Flamethrower is for stab, and I gave it Feint Attack to cover ghost types and avoid accuracy checks. His second Pokemon is Magmar with Flame Body. Magmar will take on the role as a mixed attacker, which can also serve as the support Pokemon of the team. I gave it Sunny Day to power up all Fire-type moves, then Fire Blast as its main source of damage. Cross Chop is a great way to hit normal and rock types, and Thunder Punch helps check water types. Magmar is not bulky, but it has enough speed and coverage to answer whatever's on the field, and Sunny Day gives him more utility for the team. His third Pokemon is Rapidash, which also has Flash Fire. Rapidash is a fast physical attacker, so it should try to make use of that. It's got Stomp for that chance to flinch, Bounce, which is a flying type 2-turn move but has a chance to paralyze you, Double Kick for rock types, and Fire Blast for a really strong attack. Rapidash is really fast and it can hit pretty hard, so you better not sleep on it. Fourth is Charizard with Blaze, and this one is built to sweep. Dragon Dance to boost its attack and speed, Dragon Claw, which allows it to hit anything that is not Magneton or Dragonite for neutral damage, and Aerial Ace, which is a guaranteed hit that comes off of stab and will hit even harder the more Dragon Dances Charizard sets up. Fire Blast is here again as a strong special attacking option. Next up is Flareon with Flash Fire. Flareon has a base 130 attack, but it can barely make use of it due to its limited move pool. I gave it Flamethrower for consistent stab damage, Sunny Day to support the team, because like I said, it doesn't have the best move pool, so at the very least, it can set the sun. Quick Attack for priority, and Dig. Frankly, I don't think it's the best on the team, but that's pretty much all it can do, so I think it's good enough to be a support Pokemon to set the sun. And finally, Blaine's ace, Arcanine with the amazing ability Intimidate. Arcanine has one of the most balanced stat spreads on the team, and it's just straight up reliable. With Intimidate, it can become an even tankier Pokemon depending on what it is sent out against. Fire Blast is for insane amounts of damage, Extreme Speed gives it even higher priority than Quick Attack, and it's twice as strong. Iron Tail handles rock types, and Crunch is on here for coverage. Blaine's champion team has an amazing offensive type, and they're going to be boosted even further because of the sun. From his lead to his ace, they're all going to hit incredibly hard. Okay, maybe not Flareon, but at the very least, it can bring out the sun. And last but not least, we have Giovanni. So what would his champion team look like? Well, he's going to lead with Marowak, which has Rockhead as the ability, and this thing hits harder than you expect. Boomerang has 50 power, but it hits twice, so it has the same power as Earthquake. Because it hits twice, it's able to break through substitutes and Focus Sash. Rock Slide is for flying types, which could normally wall his team, Brick Break, and Double Edge, which Marowak can abuse because Rockhead prevents it from taking recoil damage. Second up is Sand Slash with Sand Veil. Unfortunately, that's its only ability, and I didn't want to make this a sand-based team because only 2 of its Pokemon actually benefit from the sand, but the more I thought about it, I don't think it would be that bad to give Sand Slash Sandstorm. Sure, most of his team doesn't benefit from Sandstorm, but it's not like they have to worry about the chip damage. Slash has a high chance to crit, and Metal Claw gives it some way to answer ice types. Metal Claw only has 50 power, so it's not that strong, but it does have a 10% chance to raise the user's attack by 1 stage. And of course, Earthquake. Any physical attacker would love this move, and Giovanni's ground types can abuse Earthquake because Stab means this is a 150 power move with 100 accuracy. Third is Doug Trio, which has Arena Trap. Arena Trap is a terrifying ability because it prevents Pokemon from switching out, so whatever is on the field once Doug Trio is sent out means only one of them is making it out of here alive. And Doug Trio is straight up dangerous. Base 120 speed means it's almost always going to move first. Earthquake is for huge damage, Tri-Attack for some solid neutral damage, Ancient Power for the chance to trigger the Omni Boost, and Aerial Ace to check grass types and bypass accuracy. Doug Trio is fragile, but just because it's fragile doesn't mean it doesn't hit hard. Now for Giovanni's 4th Pokemon, it's going to be Nidoking with Poison Point. It's going to have Earthquake and Sludge Bomb, obviously for stab, but I also wanted to give it Mega Horn. On the downside, it only has 85 accuracy, but Mega Horn has 120 power. Then Thunderbolt. This one might come off as a surprise, but Giovanni's team are predominantly physical attackers. Nidoking is going to help out on the special side, and I specifically gave it Thunderbolt because Giovanni's team already has checks to grass and ice types, but nothing for water types, so Thunderbolt will help keep them in check. Then we've got Nidoqueen, which also has Poison Point, and it's even bulkier than Nidoking. It's running Earthquake and Sludge Bomb as well, but aside from Nidoking, Nidoqueen is going to be his only other special attacker. But that's okay, because it's going to have Flamethrower, so it's going to counter ice types, and since Nidoqueen is part poison type, it's weak to Psychic. Therefore, Crunch might be enough to catch Psychic types off guard. And finally, his ace is Rhydon, and it has the ability Rockhead. Rhydon has 2 4x weaknesses, which is easily exploitable, but if you look past that, it's kind of a beast. It has sky-high attack and defense, which can be boosted further with Curse. This lowers its speed, but boosts its attack and defense. I mean, lowering speed is almost never good, but because Rhydon is already so slow, I wouldn't say it really needs its speed. Earthquake and Rock Blast are its core stab damaging options, and just like every other Pokemon that has the ability Rockhead, you might as well make some use of it by giving it Double Edge. Rhydon's Rock type serves as a double-edged sword. On one end, it has a 4x weakness to grass and water, but on the other end, it's the only other Pokemon which benefits from Sandstorm. It will get a 50% boost to its special defense if Sandslash sets it up, then Rhydon hits the field, making it a tank on the physical and special side while being able to boost its stats even further and hit incredibly hard, which I think works pretty well for Giovanni's ace Pokemon. Giovanni's champion team focuses on hitting hard. His team has decent bulk, and Earthquake is the most spammable move of all time. And because they're ground types, Earthquake is boosted to 150 power, so I think that's a very fitting for the Crime Syndicate boss. But anyways, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree, and what would you do if the gym leaders were the champion? I put a lot of work into this video, and I'm assuming you liked it if you made it to the end, so I would appreciate it if you subscribed. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next one. Later.